Hey, everybody. I am Tommy Scoville. I will be your admiral, and you are on the lifeboat. What's happening? Do you hear my throat? I sound like Reese. Uh, I'm sadly going through it. Um, I was really kind of hoping to do a couple of shows today, but my voice feels fairly tore up. My throat, rather, feels pretty torn up. Hello, Lori Hart. And you know what I don't have is glasses, and I'm not going to get yelled at. Bear with me. 1 second, people. This is professional YouTube in here. Don't try this at home. Don't try this at home. What are you looking at me like that for, Squirrel? Squirrel was looking at me with such disdain, like, you're no professional. Should have seen the look she gave me. Here, maybe we can recreate it. Squirrel, show them the look. No, it was really way more disdainy. She looked at me like you could almost see her shaking her little cat head at me. Like, honestly, you got up and walked away. So my Daniel, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I will take nonstop love and prayers. Honestly, my throat's torn up, and I don't know. I'm feeling a little warm too. Maybe this is just the time of year when everybody comes down with something. Quibble's really sick. I'm not nearly. In fact, I'm still hoping to go live today. I really am. I'm hoping to do a live show maybe after Spanky does his normal night boat. I might come back and do a show then. But if not, I'll see you in the morning for sure. Even if I have to drag myself to the chair to film tomorrow in the morning, I will most assuredly be there to give all of the mothers out there a Mother's Day, a happy Mother's Day, and to announce the next stop on the Relatator 24. I just made that up on the spot. I have the crud, my catch-all ick term. You know what, Lori? My mom used to refer to it as the creeping crud. Back when I was in high school, the creeping crud was an expression my mom used a lot. I remember that one. And that could be it. Tracy, good to see you. Now we have Marissa Robertson, or would you be Marisa Robinson? Ginger tea. Now, 99 out of 100 times, you would just be a standard run-of-the-mill Marissa. In fact, I probably wouldn't have asked that question of anyone had it not been for Quibble and her unusual pronunciation of the. She looks more like a Reese than she does a Marisa anyway. Look at that. Marisa. There you go. Look at that. Thank you for a little help with the pronunciation. I appreciate you. So, I'm going to try to come back tonight. I don't know if I'll make it, but Shimmy Dubawabi, long time no see. What's happening? Hope you're doing well. It's always a pleasure to see you on the boat. Nice. Lori Hart says, by the way, I didn't want to walk this morning, so I walked. Glad that I did. You know something? I used to say all of the time when I was working with people on the inside and I was trying to help people come off dope or whatever. And I would say that if there's a holistic approach, and part of it is your body and whatever you're doing, you're going out, you're walking, you have a routine that you do, you're working out, you're going to the gym. It's a metaphor for life, right? Every time it gets time to come to the gym or it gets time to go do yoga or whatever, it's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. It sucks. It's not fun. It hurts. And then 2 minutes into it, 3 minutes into it, you're like, oh man, I am so glad I did this, right? Well, that's pretty much everything in life, isn't it? You always feel like it's kicking your butt and you can't pull it off. But coming up on 18 months, my eyes are really opening to the reasons why I drank. Tell me that's not the coolest thing you've heard in a really long time, huh? Tell me that's not the coolest thing you've heard in a really long time. That's the goal. If you get down to the center of that onion, you're done. For real. If you get to the center of that onion, your life takes on a completely different trajectory, right? There's that whole bank of questions that you don't have to spend your day seeking out. When you go to journal, you journal in the present, right? You're not doing nearly as much stuff where you're in your past, because most of the stuff in your past that you really need to deal with, you did. It's usually how people get to the center of the onion. But Shimmy, that's fantastic. It really is. I can't tell you how cool I think that is. It took me a lot longer than 18 months, but I'm pretty famous for being a very slow learner. You know what I mean? It took me 3 decades to finally get clean. And yeah, it took me a long time. I think I was about 5 years into my sobriety before I got to that center part of the onion where I had that epiphany moment. Oh, clouds open up. You know the drill. You know the drill. But yeah, if I had the participation trophy, I would sport it here for you. It is over at the captain's house. I do have a other participation trophy, the Rachel. Unfortunately, the Rachel is not on this desk either. I did a yoga class in the park in Clearwater this morning. Good stuff. Kids, that's awesome. That is awesome. I love doing yoga outside, like in a park or whatever. It's way more fun. It really is. It's also, do you find a slightly different challenge, right? If you're in a yoga studio or you're in your home or whatever, and you're trying to hold a pose, it's much easier to find a place in space and lock onto it, because there's not all that other stuff going on around you. I think it's way more of a challenge to try to quiet the mind while you're out in the real world. But that's awesome, and it's holistic, people. You hear me? I'm dying. It's the whole organism. If you approach this thing as a holistic, I'm going to deal with the physical, I'm going to deal with the emotional, and then once you've got the physical and the emotional down and you start feeling good, then you can start getting into like the spiritual or the esoteric. You're getting into the deep stuff, right? The deep questions that people go through life questioning. Well, that's where Shimmy's at, right? Once you knock off that, hey, this is why I was drinking. Now, when you journal, you can start looking at the really big stuff, right? What are we doing here? How long have we got, right? How did we get here? Those kind of questions, right? Yeah. Yeah. Lori Hart says, also the broken wrist seems to be healing better than expected. 2 more weeks in the cast. Thank goodness. Oh, I used to hate my left one. I had a compound fracture of the wrist. My wrist bone came through the not a pleasant injury, but I had a cast on and I hated it. And I've had a lot of bad stuff happen to me through ski accidents and through all the different things that have happened to me in life. But that cast, trying to scratch inside it would really be a bummer. Kathy, great to see you. I'm a little under the weather. But I'm okay. My boy is doing all right. But yeah, I would use a coat hanger. I would use a ruler. There were all kinds of implements that I had, depending on what part of my arm was itching. I had different things to scratch with it, and you could either go at it through the little spot in the front or from the back. But there's nothing worse than having a spot that you really want to itch, and there's a cast there making it so that you cannot get at it. That's why I look at the dogs when they have the cones on their head, and I think, oh man, poor dog, poor dog. The Midnight Show. What's happening, Arwa? Hey, Monk. Good to see you, Monk. I'm glad that you are here. Truly. Oh, my Lord. Do you hear this? Marisa says, I had a whole torso cast for a year, 2 weeks, 3 days. 1 year, 2 weeks, and 3 days. What's up with their 3 days? That's overkill. That's overkill. Honestly, what were they not going to get done in 1 year and 2 weeks? They needed 3 more days of your life in that terrible, heinous body cast. God help us. Thank you, Midnight Show. Marisa, how badly did it smell of funk when they cut that thing off of you? Because when they cut the one off of my wrist, the smell in the room from just being inside. Piano Mom says, "Hi, Tommy. Making the hummingbirds their nectar. They made it north. I love it. I love it." Oh, what a great time! What a great time of the year to be in the Northeast. Well, speaking of speaking of the other parts of the country, the East Coast, we will be announcing tomorrow morning the next stop on the Relator 2024. Yep, yep. Robin Miners, great to see you. Glad that you're here. So we're gonna be that's gonna be tomorrow morning. Even if I'm sick and I can't do the show I want to do tonight, I do plan on doing it. Right, that's my plan is to go live again. It's gonna be at about 7:30 Cali time. Kathy says, "I'm East Coast. Come to the beach." Well, I'll tell you this: the decision is already made. We were still debating, but the debate is over. I can't tell you. I've been told that if I spoil the surprise, she'll kill me. So we're going to announce it. We're going to announce it together tomorrow on Mother's Day. I think that's kind of cool. We do have our audience. We have a lot more mothers than we have fathers in our audience. That's just the way it is. That's a great idea. See, Tracy gets it. Tracy says, make a sign to hold up in case you can't talk. The good news is that if I can't talk, Quibble will do all the talking. Lori Hart says, I'm in Kentucky and the spring has been lovely. You know what? I love watching the seasons change. I really do. But I'm pretty fond of the way the desert Southwest, watching the season change here. It's also pretty spectacular. I really I do not want to ever miss a monsoon season in Tucson, Arizona ever again. I don't ever want to be anywhere else during monsoon season. When the dew point hits 42 or whatever it is, I want to be here. Jeremy Shelton says, it's official. Tommy is a master debater. Yep, there's a lot of truth to that. There is a lot of truth to that. SB, good to see you. She's got you covered in the talking department, Tracy. No question, right? Quibble she can talk a pit bull off a milk bone. You can use that. Go ahead. You can use that. You don't even have to give me credit for it. Seriously, run that one by again. Seriously, think about that one because that's just she can talk a pit bull off of a milk bone. Come on, that's great. Nothing? Why do I feel like I'm hearing crickets? I mean, I do realize that if you're laughing, I can't hear it, but I kind of feel like I'm hearing crickets. Feeling some kind of way about it. Just saying. Lori Hart says, yeah, I need the seasons, but we are all who we are. Love what you love. Yeah, well, there's something to be said for that. I'm a fan of watching seasons change, but everywhere I've ever lived has some form of a progression of season to season. You know, like the Northeast is really extreme. You really can see the difference between all of the seasons. But yeah, Juggler's Assistant, good to see you. Your chow chow will chomp if you come near her cookie. I see that. Most are that way, but it just goes to show you the amount of faith I put in Quibble's ability to speak. Phoenix Rising says, agreed, Tommy. I miss monsoon season and hiking in the wintertime in Arizona will always be a little homesick. Yeah, I get that. I really do. Well, you'll have to come back and catch a monsoon season. Hiking's great. I'll do that again, especially when Alan comes here. You know, we're gonna go head back up to Finger Mountain, all the way to the top. And there's a couple of other climbs we're gonna want to knock out, depending on what kind of shape he's in after the cruise. You know, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Yeah. Kristen Melinda says, "Hi, Lifeboat fam. I am out and about, so I can't stay, but I'll be back for replay crew. Much love." Well, we miss you already. It just doesn't seem like the boat if Kristen Melinda is not here cracking off wisecracks at perfectly comedically timed intervals. For real, she has great timing, great sense of humor. An excellent addition to the boat. Tracy says, "I'm so bummed I can't make the cruise." There's a lot of people who are feeling that way. Here's the good news. This is an icebreaker, right? This is an icebreaker. This is the first of a lot of gatherings that we are going to be doing. This one is very specifically an SPTV one, right? We're going to be doing some related boat stuff. And the nice thing about the related boat is that boat will be coming to a town near you, right? We're tomorrow in the morning, we're announcing the next place that we will be. And you're going to see that because of how we've been doing things and raising money on the related boat, we will be able to continually, we're going to be able to keep hitting spot after spot after spot, which is awesome. It really is. It's so much fun to come to, to come and see people where you live. It's excellent. Body Illusion, thank you so much. You are a beautiful person yourself. You know what? No telling what Alan will be doing on that. Kathy Ann, good to see you. Yes, it is in the air. Kathy Ann, thank you for all you do. Really appreciate you. Yes, Kathy, in September, the SPTV group has got a cruise going. It's going to be in September, and we'll be broadcasting from there, I promise. Tommy Bird says, "Hey, Admiral, what did I miss? Darn it." Well, what you missed was I had planned on doing two. I planned on doing two lifeboats today, it being a Saturday and all. But do you hear me? I woke up this morning. Excuse me. I woke up this morning with my throat doing this number. Now, normally, if you worked as a speaker long enough, there's usually like a second pitch you can go to. So if that tenor is kind of blown off, you can change in what tone or what pitch you talk in, and it can buy you more time. But it's not a good thing to do. It's not good for your voice, for your vocal cords to continue to do that. This is easier because I don't have to project back 50 feet or whatever. Darcy says, "Talking about weather, you get very spoiled in Cali, except for moisture. It rains more in 1 month in Indiana. I am sprung on storms like crack." Yeah, see, I've lived in a lot of places where you just don't get a lot of rain, right? But I love how in Tucson, you basically take all the rain you're going to get all year, right? And we just get it all at once over the course of about 8 or 9 days. It's awesome. Yes, this was very cool. Kathy Ann says, "I was glad to see the memberships kick off well last night on the related about trying to keep the train rolling as much as possible." No, it is chugging along to be sure. And there was a bunch of memberships that people bought yesterday. Really getting a lot of support. So again, it's just a great crew. Everywhere we've gone, we're ridiculously blessed. If the Gibbs had throat issues in the 70s, we would have been saved from so much noise pollution. You know, it's funny because I dig Jeremy Sheldon. I really do. One of my favorite people. Guy's got a great sense of humor. But he's got some issues with the Bee Gees. I think somebody hurt him long ago. It was probably a girl, and I think the two of them probably listened to a lot of Bee Gees together. And it's like Shakespeare. Methinks thou doth protest too much. I think you were hurt, and it was probably while I know your eyes in the morning sun. You and your girl sitting there listening to the Bee Gees, or you were cranking it at your house, right? Making a sandwich in the kitchen, about to go over and see your girl, and she called over and said, "Jeremy, we need to talk." Oh no. See, I can see it. I know what happened. I know what happened. I'm sorry, man. I really am. I'm sorry that you're hurt. But it's not Barry's fault. Right? It's not Maurice's fault. Trust me on this one. Right? It's just not. Robin had nothing to do with it. And poor Andy, right? Andy was long gone by then. You can't blame him. Tommy Bird says, mine and my wife's 13th anniversary is in 3 days. Married 13 years together. 14, I'd like to tell you, got life easier over that much time. Guess it has, but not like I thought it should. 14 years ago. How about that, my man? You know something? There's something really awesome about people that endure and overcome in spite of, right? People that, if you're still together and you got sober during that period of time, my God, right? What does that say about your relationship? For real. What does that say about the love you two have? God bless her. Honest to God, how fantastic is that? It always warms my heart, man. It really does. I ran a lot of people off with my drug use. Yep. I ran a lot of people off with my drug use. Yeah, you do deserve a promotion. 14 years at the same gig. You got to be. They got to elevate you to something, right? Can you be husband in good standing, husband in excellent standing? Can you get at least get like an award or something? You should get something you can like pin on your lapel, for the love of God. Anything that you do for that long. Sergeant Pepper. You know what? The number of nicknames that my brother has been given over the years, it's absolutely hysterical. Just the number of combinations that people have done with the word pepper in it are absolutely amazing. To get her forever. Like it, Darcy. I think that is really, really funny, Tommy Bird. You deserve a promotion. Of course, she does too. Right? The both of you. I think the both of you should be elevated to a higher status among the married. At 10 years, right? You should be able to call your husband or your wife a different name, right? You're no longer husband and wife or husband and husband or whatever it is you're doing. There should be a new set of names. It should be elevated to a different platform, right? Especially when you consider how many marriages end in divorce. We should start rewarding the marriages that don't. And the reason that so many marriages end in divorce is because we no longer have people that we hang out with. There's no longer connection. The reason people didn't get divorced back in the day is because we were connected. We were so interconnected in so many ways. It wasn't just you and your wife. You and your wife had friends, right? So there were probably 5 or 6 sets of couples that hung out together very often. So if something started to go bad, there was a whole group of guys to come around the husband and go, what are you doing? Why is there problems there? Are you doing something stupid? What's going on in the marriage, right? We don't want this. And on the other side, you had a group of women going, what is it? Is it him or are you doing something dumb? What's going on? And that tribe literally kept people together, right? For real. That's what used to happen. That's what used to happen. Unfortunately, we bailed on it. We stopped connecting, period. It was right around the time that we had this division into the blue states and red states BS, right? Right around the time that started to happen here in this country, everything went to hell because we figured out that it was a lot easier to sell to people if you divided them into 2 different camps. You could easily sell to the conservatives and everything that they're going to buy over here on this channel and these networks. And then the liberals, we can, market to them and sell to them over here on this channel. Split them apart. Sounds great. The trouble is, all of those couples that used to hang together, well, half of them are Republican and half of them are Democrats. They don't hang out anymore, right? Because it's elevated to a point where the rhetoric has got so ugly that you can't just think differently than your friend, right? You have to hate them for that. You have to call them horrible names, right? That's really what we've become. Lori Hart says, my husband and I were together for 20 years. Oh, man, that is fantastic. I think my mom and dad made 56, something like that. They had a lot. It was a ton. And Alan Ballantyne's parents had even more. Lori, I am I'm terribly sorry for your loss, but how fantastic is it that to have that love for that long? For real. I've never known love for a length of time like that. That's fantastic. It really is. It's beautiful. Support, sacrifice, and one more weight. Solitude? No, no, I don't think it's. I don't think it's solitude. I don't think it's solitude. Too much mingling energies made ascension difficult, and Tupperware, anyway, kept everyone spinning. Darcy, I get it. I really do. I get it. Sadly though, we've all of the good-natured ribbing that used to go on. You used to be able to kind of rib your friend who was a Democrat or a Republican the same way you would rib somebody who was a Jets or a Giants fan, right? It was just sort of, kind-hearted joking around, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Never a big thing. Oh, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. For real. I love that. I've been with my husband since I was 16. We celebrated 32 years this year. That is so awesome. And Lori Hart, talking about her husband, says, he was the smartest, funniest, most annoying person ever. And we were great. I love that. And I love that you can, and I know what you mean by that, by the way. I know what you mean by that. You never get over losing somebody that means the world to you. No matter what the relationship is, you never get over that. It's not something that you get over. You get over crashing a car, right? You get over having an item stolen from you. But losing someone that you love, you don't get over it. But you change and you learn to live with it. And one of those changes is when it's no longer painful to look at pictures of them or to hear stories of them. And you get to a point where now all of a sudden it starts feeling good, and that's a beautiful thing. And if you're sitting here thinking, you know what, I just didn't have the family I want, pick your own. We do here every day. Gamer Jackie, at work, on break, hugs and love you guys. Well, hugs and love to you as well. It's great to see you. And if you just got here, this is going to be a short one because it's my turn to have my throat hurting. And my goal is to not say another word from now to about 7 o'clock tonight. And then I'm going to do a little honey with a little tea. And that way I should be able to do the 7:30 show that I wanted to do on the boat. Your parents split before you were 2? It's weird how much I remember from that time period. I hear people say this all the time. I don't, my memory did not come online that young, but there are a lot of people who for whom it did. It's not, I don't think it's really, really rare. I really don't. Kathy Ann, your mom sounds incredibly wise. She says, my mom told me as a teen, if you can make it out with one real friend, you're blessed. Seasonal friends are important too. The rest can kick rocks. Thank you, Gamer Jackie. I intend to feel better, but I'm going to rest this puppy so that I can come and do the show tonight, the one that I really want to do. If by some chance I can't, if my throat's still hurting, then I'm going to put this thing away so that I can meet Quibble in the morning to announce our next stop on the Relatator 2024. So that will be tomorrow. We'll also be wishing all of the mothers a happy Mother's Day. All right. Until then, get a load of this. See this? Look at the paws. They're crossed. Wait, that's not the cutest thing you've ever seen. Look at the paws. Oh, she crosses her paws. I'm sorry, your cat's not that cute. Sorry, your cat's not as cute as mine. She's about 5 feet tall, country Irish lady who tells it like it is. and I'm going to see her for Mother's Day in about 20 minutes. Kathy Ann, tell your mom happy Mother's Day from all of us as well, and have a good time. To anyone who doesn't have a mom for this Mother's Day, please show up tomorrow. Right? Come see us here on the Lifeboat, on the Related Boat. Don't sit at home and think about that. That's called suffering in silence, and it really goes against every single thing that we say we're going to do. You feel me? So if you're feeling it tomorrow, please show up here. Squirrel will be here. Probably have the pause crossed up, but I think it's important that tomorrow, if you're hurting it, if you're feeling you're feeling blue tomorrow, don't suffer in silence. Come out. I'll make you laugh. So will my friends. All right. I'm the Admiral. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, people.